of the bits of feedback that we've had recently is that we don't talk enough about the things that we like about the sites that we're staying at, which sites we're staying at, and maybe some things we don't like. So we've been away for 3 weeks now, and we've stayed at lots of different sites because we tend to only stay for 2 or 3 nights at a time. So I'm just going to pick 3 sites out. Sue's going to help me with my memory if it's failing me. But first of all, I'll talk about the site that we're at now. So we are at a site at Chatsworth House. I think it's called, what's it called? Chatsworth Park club site. It's a caravan and motorhome club site. We are members of the Caravan and Motorhome Club, and we have been for almost 6 years now. So it's a great way of being able to experience different locations, and they also have other locations called certified locations, which tend to be smaller, maximum of 5 pitches, and I'll talk about one of those in a minute in a bit more detail. But this is a very typical club site. The facilities are always neat, clean, tidy. All the toilets and showers are cleaned every day, so that's something that you can always rely on at a caravan and motorhome club site. One little adventure, Sue, that we had, one of my presents for my retirement was a voucher for Caravan and Motorhome Club, and when we got here and I tried to pay for the site with my voucher, do you remember what happened?
Yes, they didn't. It's because it's new. They didn't have a clue how to process it.
Absolutely right. So I was a bit concerned I wasn't going to be able to spend it, but great staff always. Generally, I will caveat that with generally, because we have had one bad experience, but most caravan and motorhome club sites, the staff are brilliant and they're friendly, and they said, oh, don't worry, we'll work it out, come back tomorrow and we'll sort it all out. And indeed, that's exactly what happened. So we were able to pay with our vouchers. Thank you so much for all of those people who contributed to my retirement gift. Sue got to share it as well. Anyway,
although we have used, because when I retired, I got some vouchers which we've used as well on this trip.
Oh, so yes, see, I've shared them as well. Anyway, so what do we like about this site? Well, the facility's clean, tidy, neat. One of the great things is there is a gate with a key and a lock, and you get given that when you arrive, and it takes you straight from the site into Chatsworth Park, where you can walk, what would you say, 1,000 metres maybe? Not even that. 500 metres up to Chatsworth House, where there's a farm shop and a little cafe. It's like a little courtyard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little courtyard where you can sit around, and that's where we're going in a minute. So we can
we're going for coffee and cake.
What else? I guess if you like birds, it's great because there's lots and lots of birds. But there's also lots of crows, and they can be quite noisy. Now that doesn't bother us one bit, but if you're a light sleeper, then that might cause you some difficulties here. And one other thing about this site, with all caravan and motorhome club sites, dogs must be on a lead at all times, and again that's perfectly sensible. You know, when you're travelling, and some people are frightened of dogs, etc. But it's always nice to be able to walk off the site and let your dogs off the lead so they can run around and do what dogs do and have fun. Here, because you're in the grounds of Chatsworth Park, dogs must be on the lead all the time, and actually just as well, because there's huge herds of deer around here, and they're just bumbling around in great numbers, and they don't seem to be particularly worried about people at all. And as those people who will know us, we have a naughty little Fudge, and our naughty little Fudge chases deer, so she's been on a lead all the time.
She chases anything that moves.
That is true. She chases anything that moves. So there's some ducks been floating around the site. They come quite close. They're teasing her, I think. Yeah, she's been trying to chase them, but of course she's on her lead all the time. So that, I guess, is probably the biggest downside of this particular site. Having said that, it's a great location. If you're not worried about, if you haven't got dogs or you're not worried about that, great place to come. Talk about the Silverhill Woodland Retreat site that we stayed
Yeah, no, that was a good site.
So this is a privately owned site. It's near a place called Teversal. I had never heard of that before, but it's built right next to what would have been, as a Wiganer, what I would have termed the old slag heaps. So all the stuff that comes out of the pits that's no use to anybody, that just gets chucked on, made a big hill, the ugly, black, horrible things. But as in many cases where mines have been long gone, often they've been turned into country parks, and that's exactly what's happened. And great place to walk the dogs off the lead. They absolutely loved it. So the real benefits of this site, probably one of the best shower toilet blocks I've ever seen. Each shower was its own little bathroom. It was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it was excellent.
And really, really neat and tidy. So definitely recommend it. Not a lot around, so probably if you've got children, they're going to be limited to either going into the country park and roaming that, which is great fun. I'm sure for our generation that would have been great fun, maybe not so much now. And there's a little play area on the site, but it's really small. But absolutely brilliant facilities, and staff very, very friendly once again, which is very often the case.
And the other thing about the site is, if you're into cycling or running, there are absolutely loads and loads of tracks that go on for miles that you can cycle or run along.
What we didn't like about that? There was a pub really close by, but not dog friendly. What a shame. I always find it's a shame, don't you, when pubs, particularly in areas like that, are not dog friendly, because they must limit themselves in terms of the customers that they get. But actually, nothing else really I could say bad about that. And the only other site I was going to mention was a certified location. So this is one of those sites, Caravan and Motorhome Club certified location, maximum of 5 pitches. It was on a farm called Priestfield Grange Farm. There was a permissible footpath directly from the back of the farm to Linacre Reservoirs, a beautiful nature reserve, lots and lots of woodland, and an ability to walk around all the woodland tracks around the reservoirs. Absolutely beautiful location, and the dogs could be off the lead for quite a lot of the time as we were walking, particularly as we were walking through the farm, because there wasn't any livestock there. Check that out, of course, beforehand to make sure that was okay. Like most certified locations, not a lot there. There was electric hookup, you don't always get that, but often do these days. Somewhere for your chemical toilet, and of course fresh water. But other than that, nice location, nice and quiet. It was like being in somebody's garden, wasn't it? And we started to get some nice weather then as well, so it was nice to be able to sit out when it wasn't too cold. So I wasn't really going to say any more than that. We will talk about more sites as we discover them on our adventures. That's because we've had some specific requests for that, and we try not to make it too long, but I noticed I've been going on for a lot now. So
you always do.
That's what she says to me all the time.